Well, hello, James. Can you tell us where we are and who you are, please?
Well, we're in Quinta de Sant'Ana in Portugal, which is a small wine estate located 30 minutes north of Lisbon and 15 kilometers away from the Atlantic Ocean. And we're about 100 meters above sea level in a very hilly area. Uh, my name is James Frost, and I've been living here for 18 years with my family. I've got 6 children, and we live here inside the Quinta.
And how many hectares do you have, James, and what have you got planted here?
Okay, well, we've got the estate is 40 hectares in size, and we've got inside the estate 10 hectares of vineyard. It's more or less half reds and half whites. The reds are all planted on the upper slopes, and the whites in the valley bottoms with the deeper soils. We've got a mixture of Portuguese and foreign grape varieties. Of the reds, where we are now, this is Touriga Nacional. We've also got Aragonês and Merlot and Pinot Noir for the reds, and on the whites we've got Fernão Pires, Alvarinho, Verdelho, Riesling and Sauvignon Blanc.
So these are unusual choices, Alvarinho and Riesling here in the very hot climate of Portugal. Can you explain that?
Well, that's where you're wrong, because we really are in a cool climate here. This is a cool area despite being so far south in Europe. We traditionally have cool nights, misty mornings and hot afternoons. So that has really influenced our choice in grape varieties.
And how many hectares do you have planted here, and what is your total production in terms of bottles, would you say?
Okay, well, from the 10 hectares at the moment we're producing about 30 to 40,000 bottles, but as our vineyards are young, they're still growing in production, and by 2012 we should be in full production of 60,000 bottles per annum.
Okay, and when did you start your bottling activities here at the vineyard? How long have you owned the vineyard?
Well, when I arrived here, the Quinta had about 12 hectares of very old vineyards. I pulled up 3/4 of them, and in '99 I planted 2.5 hectares just as an experiment. The idea was really to send the grapes to the cooperative and maybe make a little bit of wine here at home. But in 2004 we met a Portuguese winemaker who together with us made a plan for the future, and since then we've planted new vineyards, we've modernized the winery, and we're now making good quality fine wines in a modern technique.
And outside Portugal, James, where are you selling your wines?
Well, in Britain, in Germany and in Belgium at the moment.
And what ambitions do you have for your vineyard? Are you going to increase the size of it, or?
Well, we've got about 2 hectares of very good south-facing slope, which has at the moment got a bit of orchard on it. That I would ideally like to plant with vineyard, but at the moment we'll just see how we can cope with our full production of 60,000 bottles.
And you've planted a nice interesting array of white grape varieties. Any plans for any red varieties that might surprise us?
Well, the Pinot is very surprising, and we've had our first production this year, and we've had very interesting results. It is definitely a very stylistic Pinot, and we're now it's in barrel, and we'll wait to see another year and see how it develops.
And the 2009 is your first vintage, or is it 2008 was the first vintage?
No, 2009 this year, so we really don't know how it's going to turn out, but the first signs are good.
Okay, well, thank you very much, James. Let's go and taste those wines.